So this could be the first time doing this without actually playing the video as I'm speaking. But I'm just gonna break down a few things that I took note of while watching this video. This video is it's a pretty old attack, happened like many years ago. Um, One dog nut allows her small, worthless mutt off leash to roam the sidewalk. Then incoming from the right towards the left, can't really tell if a child is actually holding the leash. But they did mention that the child was holding the leash while being accompanied with their parent. And as soon as the dog reached the other dog or tried to pass by the other dog, the Pitbull attacked the small dog. I'm not going to play it. I know in the past, playing these types of videos, a lot of these dog nutters, they can't take criticism. So I'm not going to play the video. But if you're interested, you can just type what you see on the screen to see the actual video. Just before I get into the whole breakdown, just by this dog nut's demeanor, the way he's presenting himself, to me, it just seems like he's just making things up. Like he's just making things up as he goes. Things just seem like, he's just had things written down. Oh, I'm going to say this. Let's say this, let's try this. And he's just making things up. Again, with dog culture, there's no facts. And a lot of these dog nuts, I just don't see them as reliable. Just like this individual, I don't see him as reliable. I don't care how long he's been training these worthless mutts. He's not reliable whatsoever. No dog nut, no dog owner, no dog expert is reliable. One thing he mentioned, towards these dog nutters, is to have environmental awareness. So this means the dog nuts, the dog owners, always have to be aware of what's going on in the environment. Like always have to be aware of what's going on in order to prevent these attacks. But with dog culture and these dog nuts and these owners, they don't want to do that all the time. They're not going to do that all the time because they just don't want to. They don't have the energy to do that, to do such a thing. So they always think that, their worthless mutt isn't going to attack or give problems. They don't think the dog is ever going to give problems. Even when the dog does give problems, they're not going to admit it. They're going to ignore it and just think it's, the dog being a dog and move on. So for dogs to have environmental awareness, it's not going to happen, or at least not all the time, due to various factors. But I think they just don't want to. It's too much work to have to do so much work, take care of your children, take care of the house, etc., etc. And then they got to be aware of the environment for their worthless mutt. Knowing that this dog cannot think for itself whatsoever, you know that it's worthless. So now you got to do everything for it. Think for it, look for it, see for it, eat for it, everything. They have to give up their whole lives for this thing. And they're not going to do that all the time. It's not happening. And that's why situations and events like this happen all the time. They don't want to be aware all the time. It's too much work. Even me, I don't want to be aware of what a person's doing all the time. I don't want to do that. I have other things to do, other things to worry about. I don't want to be worrying about one person all the time. It's too much work. And again, these dog nuts don't do it. They don't want to do it. It's not realistic for people to have to, be aware for someone 24/7. It's not realistic. In the video, he says the owner of the small dog, um, he says the owner of the small dog she saw the pit bull coming. But just by this video, as you can see, this is the only view that we have. We don't know exactly if the small dog owner saw the other dog coming. We really can't say that the other small dog owner saw the other dog coming when this guy says that she did. Sometimes, things might be coming to on our sides, but we're not looking there. Sometimes we're not going to look there. Sometimes we're thinking about other things, worrying about other things, wanting to get from point A to point B, and we just don't see things that are coming from the right or the left or ahead of us. Sometimes it's not going to happen. So to say just by this little snippet, to say that this lady actually saw the pit bull coming is pretty wrong. But let's say she did see the pit bull. Let's say this dog owner did see the pit bull. It just goes to show either A, she thought all dogs were individual. B, she didn't think anything was going to happen. And she just let it go. She didn't intervene. She didn't interject. She didn't even try to keep her worth as much safe or whatever. None of that. Let's say she did see the dog coming. She did nothing. She walked out of view of the camera. Not sure where she went or whatever she was doing. We don't know what she was doing. She's not knowing if she saw the lady coming or the other dog coming. We don't know that. But let's say she did. She did nothing. Nothing. And for anyone to feel this comfortable when a bully breed or any dog is on their way coming towards you, towards your child, towards even your worthless mutt, and you do nothing, it just shows how comfortable you are. And I've always said being comfortable or too comfortable is a bad thing. Because when you're too comfortable, events like this happen. Events like this do happen. Now you have to deal with the so-called trauma and all the other things that goes along with it. So anyway, so again, there was really no proof, saying if she saw the dog or not. Maybe she did, but again, just by this video, who knows? Who knows if she actually saw it coming? But anyways, the dog nut trainer says, the pit bull body language. He said the pit bull was in stalking mode or stalk mode. This is what he said. This is what he said, which equates to being in stalk mode. He says the tail was straight up and the dog's head was down, which that means the dog was in stalk mode. That means the dog was getting ready for an attack. That's what he said. I wrote it down. He said, the tail is straight up, the head is down. That means the dog is in stalk mode. I haven't even heard the term stalk mode or stalking mode till right now. I don't even think these dog nuts ever heard that term. You really think these dog nuts even know anything about dogs? And I'm pretty sure a lot of these dog owners don't know anything about dogs other than feed the dog, tail wagging, and the dog jumping on them. That's pretty much it. And they pretend like they know dogs. So for them to know things like stalk mode, why would they know that? Plus, why would these dog nuts, pitbull nutters, think that their beloved fur baby would ever attack another dog? These are also dog lovers. Do you think that they have had any intentions of allowing their pit bull dog to attack another small dog? So you think they're going to be looking for stalking mode or stalk mode? Dogs' heads are always down on the ground smelling things. I see them outside here where I am. Like every time you go outside, dogs are always smelling things. Owner has to stand there like some idiot, waiting for their dog to stop smelling things. See it all the time. Their heads are always down. And he mentioned something about tail being straight up. Like, who looks for that? Oh, their tail is straight up, its head is down, so that means it's going to attack? Like, who does that? Which intelligent pit nutter is looking for this and is actually going to do something when he sees that the dog's tail is straight up and its head's down? Do you think there anyone is going to just intervene? Oh, the dog's about to attack. Its tail is straight up. Its head is down. I got to do something. They're not going to do anything. They're not going to do anything. Why would they? These dog owners, pit bull owners, they wait for attacks to happen because there is no clear warning sign of an attack. And for a worthless mutt to have a warning sign of an attack doesn't make any sense. Hey, I'm going to warn you when I'm going to attack. Why would a so-called predator do that? Makes no sense. So that's what this trainer said. And like I said at the beginning, it's like this guy was just making up things. It seems like he was just making things up. And again, his so-called, business name is Canine Perspective. Perspective isn't always a fact. It's just another way of saying like what I see or what I hear. What I hear can be different from what you hear. What I say can be different from what you say. And that's what this dog culture is. It's so full of subjectiveness. Just make things up just to protect these worthless mutts, just to make bank. As we watch the video, and this guy is basing things off this clip. He said, look for stalk mode in the video. So as soon as I can't zoom in, but as soon as the dog gets in view of the camera to the point where it attacks the small dog is like maybe a second, 2 seconds. 2 seconds. As soon as the dog gets in the view of the camera, it's like 2 seconds right before the attack happens. And this guy is saying that you got to look for the stalk mode to prevent attack. So within that 2 seconds, who's stepping in those 2 seconds? Who's doing that? Again, we can say, oh, the dog was in stalk mode for the whole time. We don't know that. This guy is basing his information on a 2-second clip of the dog before it attacks. And even if the dog was in this so-called stalk mode, do you really think this lady and the child are going to do anything? Do you think they're actually suspecting that another dog will get attacked? Do you even think that they know that these dogs are dangerous? This dog was probably very sweet and playful at their home. They probably had no idea that this thing would attack and kill another dog. So just to make a judgment for just 2 seconds is worthless. So it's blurry. The video is very blurry. So what he says, I'll go by with what he says. That there was a child holding the leash with the parent beside them walking. Then he mentions, well, okay, so he didn't mention. I mentioned that even though there was a child holding the leash, there was like no redirecting. The owners did nothing, and it kind of goes back to what I said about the stalk mode. Nothing was done. I mean, within those last few seconds, nothing was done. But nevertheless, there was a child holding the leash of a pit bull, and this is just a sign of how reckless, clueless these pit bull nutters, dog owners really are. And to the fact, all three of them, are all two parties are pretty reckless. Especially with the parent, with the child, with the pit bull. Very reckless for allowing your child to hold the leash of a dog, let alone a pit bull. When there are many cases of pit bulls attacking children, with children holding the leash of their dog, and the dog's breaking free, dropping the child to the ground. We've seen many cases. I've shown videos of it before. I've seen it before. So it's just reckless, and it just goes to show that these dog nutters, they really don't know anything about dogs. Because if they did, they wouldn't be doing such behavior. Shouldn't be endangering the community, endangering their own child. I'm pretty sure this dog was very lovable and playful in the house, and the child felt safe around around the pit bull. They took pictures of the child and the pit bull, and this mother didn't think anything of it. She saw no aggression. I'm pretty sure she saw 0 ounce of aggression in this dog, in this pit bull. And then all it takes is this day, 2 seconds, and bam, this pit bull attacks another small dog. And this guy is saying, you got to look for stalk mode. Yeah, the information in dog culture is just, it's frustrating. It's totally absurd. And the reason why it's so absurd is because we should not be having these things in our community if situations like this happen again and again, over and over. They didn't suspect. I'm pretty sure they did not suspect the thing would attack. So if you have this mindset that your dog will never attack, that's a clear sign that these things don't belong in the environment. For you to risk that, to have such a thing, have the possession of such a thing, where you're endangering yourself, endangering your children, endangering the community, and you are clueless of what these things can do. And when it happens, it's like you don't know how to stop it or prevent it. This is our culture, man. It attracts a lot of gullible, naive, weak, stupid, unintelligent people. All for what? To see more people suffer. And again, I don't care for the dog. But this is just a good example to use that these attacks are unpredictable. Unpredictable. Before I get into more on that, last note that I made about this video, the dog nut trainer recommends you choking a dog to stop it from attacking. So if such a thing is a recommendation, because you obviously know that these things are capable of attacking, so that means the whole pit bulls, bully breeds are individual, how you train it, the stats are false, all that junk that is, pro Pitbull, it pretty much gets thrown out the window. Why is this guy talking about choking a dog? Which dog lover does that? They ever have the audacity to have a thought about choking a dog? Why would you want to choke a dog for? Like, when would you want to choke a dog? But obviously, it's for when the dog is attacking someone or another dog or another animal or the owner. Now you got to resort to choking. So that, to me, that means that these dog nuts know, the pit bull nuts, the bully tars, they know that these dogs are dangerous. They're violent. They're killers. They know that. But they have to lie, have to create excuses, have to be a poser, have to create this false image for these dogs. They have to create this image for themselves, only to protect something that they know is deadly. And here I'm listening to a dog trainer who's obviously a dog lover talking and recommending to choke a dog, which is something you just never heard a dog in dog culture. You just don't do it. You don't hurt a dog in dog culture. You just don't do it. But yet, he recommends choking a dog to stopping it from attacking. We don't hear about choking cows, choking horses, choking cows, choking bears, choking tigers, We don't talk about choking any other animal for it to not attack. It's only dogs that this is recommended for. Only dogs. I've seen many cat videos of cats fighting. And all a person really has to do is pick up one cat and the fight is over. Just pick it up and walk away and the fight is over. Literally. Literally. And these cat fights last for maybe 30 seconds, maybe. And it's over. But here we are in dog culture, where the dog lover is recommending that we choke man's best friend so it can stop attacking someone or another dog. Only in dog culture can you love something so much, lie for something so much, and then recommend to choke it to stop fighting when you believe and you say that these dogs were never bred for fighting. When you say dogs are never aggressive, it's all how you train it. It's all this and all that. Our culture is very frustrating. And I can see why a lot of dog nutters rather be delusional and rather ignore certain things, because when you face the stupidity in dog culture, when you face the horror, the trauma in dog culture, it's uneasy, it's unsettling, and makes you unease. So I get why dog nuts, ignore everything and just focus on one set of things. And I get why they lie, because they don't want to face the truth. The truth hurts them. The truth hurts them more than them watching and witnessing dogs attack and kill other people. I'm Gore the Dog Butcher. Another worthless mutts. Remember, it's okay to hate dogs.